Are you tired of waiting for permission to live the life you truly desire? In today's video, we're going to delve into the profound wisdom of Buddhism and how it can transform your mindset from one of waiting for permission to one of taking charge of your own destiny. Lesson 1. Recognize your own power. In Buddhism, this inner strength is something each person possesses, regardless of background, situation, or personality. It's the strength to see things clearly, make decisions, and follow a path of integrity and purpose. Recognizing your power begins with mindfulness, paying close attention to your thoughts, feelings, and actions. By practicing mindfulness, you can start to see how much influence you actually have over your own life. This power is not about controlling others. It's about taking charge of yourself. You have the power to decide how you react, how you feel, and what direction you choose to go in. With this awareness, you can start to let go of the need for permission and move forward confidently. Buddhism teaches that suffering often arises from the belief that our happiness lies outside ourselves. But when you recognize your own power, you start to see that happiness is something you can cultivate. You don't need someone else to give it to you. You already have the power to create it within yourself. Trust this inner strength and let it guide your choices. When you see that you are capable, you begin to let go of the need for approval. And that's when real freedom begins. Lesson 2. Challenge self-doubt. Self-doubt is one of the biggest obstacles to taking control of our lives. Buddhism teaches that doubt is like a thick cloud that can obscure our inner light. When we constantly question our worth, our abilities, or our decisions, we stay stuck. We might wait for others to reassure us or tell us that we're doing well. But the truth is, self-doubt only holds us back. To challenge self-doubt, start by recognizing that these negative thoughts are not facts. They are simply thoughts. Buddhism encourages us to observe our thoughts without judgment. When you feel self-doubt creeping in, acknowledge it, but don't let it control you. Remember, self-doubt only has power if you give it power. Another way to challenge self-doubt is to take small actions despite it. If you feel unsure about a new project, try taking just one small step. When you act in the face of self-doubt, you gradually build confidence. The more you prove to yourself that you are capable, the less power self-doubt has over you. Self-doubt often arises from the fear of failure or the fear of judgment. But when you remember that everyone experiences doubt, you can start to let go of its grip. Doubt doesn't have to stop you from moving forward. By observing it and choosing not to let it dictate your actions, you take one step closer to living with confidence and freedom. Lesson 3. Take responsibility. Taking responsibility is a powerful step in taking control of your life. In Buddhism, there is a concept of karma, which simply means that our actions have consequences. Taking responsibility for your life means recognizing that your choices shape your experience. You have the ability to create positive changes or negative consequences depending on your actions. Taking responsibility doesn't mean blaming yourself for everything. It means accepting that you have the power to change things in your life. When you stop waiting for others to take charge and start making your own choices, you begin to feel a sense of ownership over your life. This is incredibly empowering. Responsibility also involves being honest with yourself. If something isn't going well, ask yourself if there's anything you can do to change it. Taking responsibility means not blaming others for your situation. Instead, it means asking yourself, what can I do to improve this? This mindset gives you freedom because you realize that your happiness doesn't depend on anyone else. One of the most liberating aspects of taking responsibility is that it puts the power back into your hands. You stop waiting for others to fix things for you. You stop hoping that circumstances will change on their own. Instead, you start taking steps toward the life you want. This is the essence of self-reliance, and it's a core teaching in Buddhism that can transform how you approach life. Lesson 4. Embrace failure as growth. In Buddhism, there's a belief that life is filled with challenges, and these challenges are opportunities for growth. When we face failure, we often feel ashamed or defeated. But Buddhism teaches that failure is not something to fear, it's something to learn from. Embracing failure as a natural part of life allows you to grow stronger and wiser. When you understand that failure is just a part of learning, you stop fearing it. You realize that every setback is an opportunity to learn something new. You don't need permission to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are often the greatest teachers. They show us what doesn't work, and they point us toward new ways of thinking and acting. The fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people hesitate to take control of their lives. But if you can learn to see failure as a stepping stone, you'll be more willing to take risks. This doesn't mean you have to be reckless, but it means you shouldn't let the fear of failure hold you back. Embracing failure means being compassionate with yourself. When things don't go as planned, remind yourself that you're human. Everyone fails, and everyone learns from their failures. By approaching life with this mindset, you start to take control. You stop waiting for everything to be perfect before you take action. Instead, you accept that failure is just part of the journey, and you keep moving forward. Lesson 5. Stop seeking external approval. One of the core teachings of Buddhism is that happiness and peace come from within. When we constantly seek approval from others, we give away our power. We rely on others to make us feel good about ourselves, and this dependency keeps us from living authentically. Seeking approval is natural, but it can become a barrier to self-confidence and freedom. When we depend on others to validate us, we limit ourselves. We wait for others to say that we're good enough or that we're making the right choices. But in reality, no one can give you the approval you're truly looking for. It has to come from within. Buddhism encourages us to look inward for validation. When you realize that your worth is not determined by others, you free yourself from the need for external approval. You start making choices that feel right to you, regardless of what others think. This doesn't mean ignoring other people's feelings, but it does mean valuing your own judgment and intuition. Letting go of the need for approval is one of the most liberating steps you can take. It allows you to live more authentically. You stop worrying about what others think, and you start living in a way that aligns with your true self. This is where true confidence comes from, not from others' opinions, but from your own inner knowing. Lesson 6. Make bold moves, even small ones. Sometimes taking control of your life means making bold moves, even if they seem small. In Buddhism, there is an emphasis on taking steps toward a life of meaning and purpose. This doesn't always mean making drastic changes. Sometimes even a small action can have a profound impact. When you take a small step toward your goals, you start to build momentum. These small steps are like planting seeds. Each one grows over time, and eventually they lead to big changes. Making bold moves doesn't mean doing something huge and risky. It simply means having the courage to take one small action each day that brings you closer to your vision. Buddhism teaches that every moment is an opportunity to move closer to peace and fulfillment. When you take even one small step toward your goals, you are taking control of your life. It could be as simple as starting a new habit, setting a boundary, or trying something you've never done before. Each action is a statement that you are willing to move forward, no matter how slowly. By making these bold moves, you stop waiting for permission, and you begin to shape your life in a way that feels true to you. The beauty of small steps is that they add up. Over time, these small actions create a powerful transformation. You don't need to wait for a big opportunity. You can start right now with small, bold moves. Lesson 7. Create opportunities, don't wait for them. In Buddhism, there's a strong emphasis on the idea that we are the creators of our own path. Many of us wait for opportunities to come to us, But Buddhism teaches that we have the power to create our own opportunities. By taking initiative, you start to see that life is full of possibilities. Creating opportunities means looking for ways to make things happen instead of waiting for them. If you want a new job, start networking, building skills, or learning more about your desired field. If you want to improve a relationship, reach out, communicate, and invest in that connection. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it by taking small actions. Buddhism teaches that life is always moving, always changing. When you understand this, you see that opportunities are everywhere. They don't always come in the form of big events or perfect timing. Sometimes they are hidden in small moments, like a chance encounter or a simple conversation. By being proactive, you open yourself up to these hidden opportunities. Creating opportunities also means being open to change. Instead of waiting for life to give you permission, you start looking for ways to shape your own future. You become a participant in your own life, not just an observer. This is what it means to take control of your life. You stop waiting, you start acting, and you create a life that is meaningful to you. Each of these lessons serves as a reminder that you don't need to wait for permission to live a full, meaningful life. By recognizing your power, challenging self-doubt, taking responsibility, embracing failure, letting go of approval, making bold moves, and creating opportunities, you become the author of your own journey. Buddhism teaches that freedom comes from within. When you stop waiting for others to tell you you're ready, you find that you've been ready all along. Embrace this power and let it guide you toward a life that is truly yours.